Hello my friends, Boomy here once again with another video for you and my World of Warcraft brothers and sisters. Actually, this video might, be for everyone who plays in MMOs and games that is not so friendly towards reputation when it comes to having multiple tunes, or as we call it, alcoholism, or alcoholicism actually. So in this case, it's going to be more World of Warcraft based, and this has been a gripe for a lot of people for a very long time, like a really long time, and it's just a piece of conversation, something that comes up once in a while. It came up recently at BlizzCon earlier in the month, and it's been something I've been scratching my head about, wondering the true reasons behind Blizzard's lack of wanting to update and revise the reputation system within World of Warcraft. But, everyone's big thing with, reputation. Reputation's it's always been a thing, right, in World of Warcraft, where if you want something, you want a special type of, diagrams or specs or blueprints to make this, that, or the other thing within your crafting tree, or to get a mount, or to get pieces of custom, blah, 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 words. Transmogable. Good lord, too much coffee. I've had a shit ton of coffee today. But certain periods of rep, whether you're honored, you're friendly, or they hate you, or, well, not if they hate you, then you're probably not going to get much if someone hates you. If someone hates you, they're probably not going to give you a Christmas present. Just saying. But if you hit friendly, honored, revered, exalted, whatever they are, you get certain perks to having that reputation level. Now, when you main a character, when you have one character, every MMO has this, right? Everyone has one main tune. This is the tune they do most of their raiding on, their operations on. This is where they do most of their work on this tune. This tune has gone through everything. Now, your main tune, maybe not for some people. I know some people who have not switched their tune at all since the beginning of whenever they made the game, or made the tune in the game. But there are a lot of people, including myself, who sometimes switch tunes, mains, per expansion, because this is with Legion, I switched over to Demon Hunter because that one's new and pretty. With Mists of Pandaria, I switched over to a Monk because that was new and pretty, and I really liked the playstyle. But at the same time, my very first main tune in World of Warcraft was Night Elf Druid, Canaditius, and I still love Canaditius, and I still play on her every once in a while. He was a guy, but he went through transition, and now he's a female, and the operation was very successful. I mean, you couldn't even tell. I mean, it's hot. He's hot. Whatever. It is what it is. So I've had these tunes. I did a lot of work on Canaditius. I did a lot of work on Boomy Sunsoon. That was his name. And I've done, I've been starting to do a lot more work on Australia, who is my Demon Hunter in this current expansion set right now. Who knows what I might choose for Battle for Azeroth. I might stick with my Demon Hunter, or I might go back to my sexy Warlock. I don't know, on Alliance side. Who knows? It depends on how I feel. I love my Warlock. I did a lot of work on her, but Canaditius and Boomy Sunsoon and my Warlock, they have a lot of reputation gained, but with different factions because of the different times. Now, hence comes the problem. Like within Star Wars The Old Republic, your reputation is account-wide. So no matter which tune you work on, say you're doing daily events, or you're doing monthly events with Rakul or the Gree, what have you, you're still, an overall picture, you're working on reputation gains for basically your account. So all your tunes, pretty much, when you're doing this, you're kind of working together. You're kumbaya in it, hand in hand. But in World of Warcraft, however, it's not like that. It is not account wide. It is character bound. The reputation is. So why I mean, ever since I realized that, it has not made any sense to me, because as sometimes I can be a somewhat completionist for certain things, and reputation is definitely one of them. And I want to be able to go to any tune and see my reputation bars filled up from all the work I've done in the past 7 years playing World of Warcraft. But sadly, you don't get that. Now, Blizzard likes to say, like, one of their reasonings is that, each tune has a different story and is like a different way you play and do with that faction. And yeah, so every tune might be hated by this faction, blah, blah, blah. It's like, no, I don't buy that excuse whatsoever, because technically, you, the player, is having this quote-unquote relationship style with whatever faction it is, whichever rep faction it is you're trying to gain a reputation on, whatever achievements, Pathfinder achievements you might be working on in Legion or in Warlords. It's, it's you, it's me, it's Boomy, it's other people who are playing these characters. We're having that one-on-one with that faction, not necessarily the tune. So I don't really hold to Blizzard's reasoning on that one. Someone asked a question during BlizzCon. They asked this question about whether Blizzard will make everything account-wide. And Blizzard said no. And another reason they gave was because, say you have a Draenei Blacksmith, and that Draenei Blacksmith who's an alt needs to get a certain crafting schematic or blueprint for whatever piece of armor they're trying to do. But they want you, the player, to work on that alt to get to where that alt needs to be. Now, you might already be exalted with him on your main tune, who might be, I don't know, a cloth person who's weaving all types of cloth and shit out there for that. Almost says synth weaving, but it's been a while. A tailor, there you go, a tailor. And she might be already exalted on with that faction, but your Draenei blacksmith is not, so you have to do it all over again. And Blizzard kind of has, like, they're just coming up with excuses. It's kind of like you're just sitting there going, like, well, what's the real reason you don't want to do this? Why? So at this point, it's, the player base, for the most part, so I ran a poll on Twitter and asked the Warcraft community, the Warcraft family community, should reputation be account-wide in World of Warcraft? And 76% of the people said yes, 12% said no, and 12% said they just didn't care. Now, I think the 76%ers right there are the people who, 76%ers are people who probably have a lot of alts and probably want to be able to do a lot of things on their alts, but we have the reputation gate that kind of sticks us, and after a while, when you're doing stuff on that alt, you kind of be like, oh, you know what, this is like the 4th time I've had to do this, and I don't wanna. I just don't want to. Shoot me in the face right now, Batman. It's just what it is. I just don't wanna. Just shoot me. Rage quit. Here we go. Table flip. So I don't buy Blizzard's excuses. I don't think. I mean, they've made mounts account-wide, pets account-wide, armor sets account-wide for, your transmog stuff. They have the ability. It is there. And I don't think it comes down to a very complicated coding system. It might. I don't know much about coding. If someone else does, put in the comments section below. School me on this one. Let me know. I could be completely off base, but I don't think it's a big thing. That's just me. I just don't. Blizzard's been able to integrate all kinds of stuff into their system, into this very old engine in the old software. Why not make this a thing? Why not? I think the excuses are bullshit. I'll just say it right now. I think it's crap. It's total crap. There is no reason why on earth that Blizzard should gate your reputation per tune, because that is not alt friendly, and that's the biggest excuse in games like MMOs, is that we want features that are alt friendly. It's just something we want to do. But since Blizzard is has a stick up their butt about this, what ways can we as players help our tunes out with getting reputation a little quicker? And in MMOs, we want things to go quickly. And sometimes with reputation with factions, man, it seems to move as fast as a fat, drunk, blind man crawling through mud. It is slow, especially with the Legion Pathfinder trying to get these quests out when you're only getting pegged. What? Getting pegged? No. even with a buff, and we'll talk about buffs in just a second. Like right now, I'm doing the anniversary thing with the 13th anniversary, and I've got a 13% buff on it, and I'm only making 84 rep points per quest, per world quest I complete. Huh? I mean, should we burn through stuff really quickly? Probably not. Blizzard wants you to be able to play the content and consume it at a reasonable pace. And because Blizzard, kind of put themselves between a rock and a hard place with the whole flying thing, they want to make it a little harder for you to earn flying. But back in the day, all we had to do was be a certain level, make some gold, buy flying. There it is. I personally believe that's where we need to be. Again, but at the same time, Blizzard, in Warlords, they really fracked up the flying thing. They really did. And then they really quickly came up with this Pathfinder achievement. And just a lot of people were kind of pissed off, going like, oh God, I have to do what all over again? Oh, shoot me now. And so they modified it a little bit and streamlined it a little bit for Legion, which is nice and good for them to do. I mean, I have the Pathfinder thing done for Warlords, but I would like the Pathfinder thing done for Legion, so it would become more alt-friendly in that regard. And I think maybe, here's another thing, I'm just not even in my notes, but here's another thing. Maybe once you earn the certain exalted reputation with a certain faction, maybe your alts can get a certain percentage boost, like a 25% boost exalted. And if that tune gets exalted, maybe they should tack on another 25. So each tune you get to eventually get 100% faction boost. So every time you turn in a quest or you kill a mob or something that gains you faction rep, it is 100% times that. So what are the other ways, since we cannot have it account-wide at the moment? I mean, I'm sure eventually they're going to break down. If the community bitches enough about it, they're going to break down and do it. And I think the community needs to get up and just say, hey, dude, we did it with the mounts. Why can't we do it with this? The community needs to get together. But since that's not going to happen anytime soon, what things can we do to help increase the not only speed of which we get a reputation, but how much reputation we get? Now, there are a couple of ways that World of Warcraft Blizzard has put into the game, mechanics and features, that you can do this with. Like right now, perfect, the 13th anniversary of WoW, you get your little token, it increases your XP by 13%, your reputation gains by 13%, and other things by 13%. For 1 hour, it's good for 1 hour, then you bing it again, wham bam, thank you ma'am. So that's one of the things there. Other buffs, the Darkmoon Fair, when that's in town once a month, go onto the carousel. That'll give you a 10% buff right there. So if you add the anniversary and the carousel, that's a 23% buff right there for an hour. And at the carousel thing, you want some more. The battle standard, when you reach a certain level in your guild, you get the battle standard of coordination, and that gives you a 15% right there. And I believe that's 38% extra reputation points you get. You get the 15% rep gain from killing things. So that's cool. So if you're doing older reputation grinds where you go in a dungeon and every time you kill, like I did this and I can't remember what faction it was for, but I would replay this dungeon over and over and over again. And I would maybe get 1 or 2 or 5 rep points for killing mobs in there. But if I had the standard out, I would be making more. So that's another good thing for it. Also, another cool little trinket, not even trinket, but an item at the Darkmoon Fair is the carousel, not the carousel, I'm sorry, but the top hat. You can go to the vendor, get the top hats, you can stack them up to 20, and they're 10% reputation gain, and maybe XP gain. I could be wrong on that. I probably should have looked that up, but I didn't, so it is what it is. You get 10% for an hour. So if you add that 10% to the 23, that's a 33% plus the 15 for killing monsters. It adds up. But there are really cool things that they let drop in 7.3 that could help you with that as well. Like the Nathrizim Tome of Manipulation is dropped by Vagrath, the Betrayed, on the Broken Isles, and you get a rep gain of 200%. Hello? That's fracking amazing right there. Plus there's another one, the Demon Soul. It increases rep with the Broken Shore, shoot me now, and the Argus factions by 1,000%. So they have they have things within the game that you can use that will help you out. Now these are just little Pinsky things, right? I would think by we're already a little bit over a year into Legion or whatever they're doing with the rep, but I think that at this point they should have catch-up mechanics to where, like they did that for the artifact stuff. Do I remember it took forever to get to your traits? But now you get a little item and you've got 1.5 billion artifact points. And you're just like, what the hell? It's like, wow, man. They should do that for your reputation stuff too. Especially people just coming back into the game like myself, who took 2 months off, played for a couple months, then took 2 months off, but took 6 months off before that. Someone who is trying to catch up and get everything there and wants to get their tunes caught up, good lord, caught up for Battle for Azeroth, say, because I want to get back my Warlock, but she's only 104, and I want her to be able to fly, and I need to get that crap going right now because I play another MMO, which I do content with, and in which I'm heavily in the community with. Time is of the essence, and people like me who, have a life outside of gaming, time and us just don't get along too well. So there would be nice to have far better catch-up mechanics than tokens and hats and whatnots that you have to spend time getting than to be able to get the extra increase in your reputation. So Blizzard, if you're listening, I know you listen every once in a while, but if you are listening to this one, come on. There is no reason that reputation is for a tune only and you have to redo it all for your other tunes. There is none whatsoever. Your excuses are crap. They're dumb. They're lazy. It's just, maybe back in the day it made sense when people didn't really do alts all too often, but man, we are altaholics, and we want to be able to get stuff not necessarily now, not in some entitlement sort of way, but from the perspective of me, the player, is interacting with this faction. I want to be able to help all the tunes that I have. I don't see how that's not reasonable at all. Tell me what you guys think. Put it down in the comment section below. Am I off base? Does Blizzard need to change things with this mechanic, in this feature? And what other things should they put out there to help us have catch-up mechanics for reputation gains in World of Warcraft? If you like this video, make sure you hit the like button. It surely does help this channel out one heck of a bit, let me tell you. And if you like the weird, crazy black sheepness of the gaming world over here at Booming Nation, the freak show of YouTube and Twitch TV, make sure you hit the subscribe button, hit that little bell right there that lets you know whenever I put out a new video or something strange that I do on the YouTube channel. My friends, have yourself a good one. Be safe, be kind. We'll see you later.